Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you all that how I managed to score a perfect score of 180 out of 180 in zoology section of NEET 2024 examination. So, in botany, I scored 165 out of 180. That makes a total of 345 out of 316 biology. So, this was just a brief intro about me. So without wastage of any further time, let's get into the video. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you all how I read my zoology section of 11th and 12th, which helped me score this much. So for starting from the first chapter of class 11th itself, it's not the first chapter, I know it's chapter 4th, but from the zoology point of view, it's the first chapter only because first 3 chapters from the 11th section comes under the botany portion. So animal kingdom is the basis, obviously, because it will help you to read the further chapters. So I'll just show you in a brief how I read my NCERT. So first of all, I used to highlight all the things, and I also used to write the things which I used to learn from the tests. By giving the tests, if I used to get any extra point which I did not know, so I used to write it over here. Okay, and I also used to label the diagrams. See here, here below the diagrams, the description is written in a very tiny manner, so you may tend to skip them. Okay, and if this will come in the examination, then you'll struggle to remember that what was written over here. So just to avoid that thing, I used to write below the diagrams. I also learned this from one of my seniors. So this I just loved this trick. So I used to write it over here below the diagrams, so that when in the exam it came, I was pretty sure with my answers. Here also you can see I have written all the examples, names of all the examples, so that I did not get confused in the examination. So this is just a brief of my book. So you can see it's in a very really bad condition, but just ignore that. You can see that how you need to study NCERT, okay, to score this much. So here you can see that I used to write all the features and whatever I used to learn. And again, see here, this is my habit, and you all should also inculcate this habit in you to write the name of the diagram below it. See here, it is written in a very tiny manner, so I may tend to skip it or may tend to forget it, but if it's written like this, then it's very very fruitful. So yeah, you can see I'll give you a wider view. Okay, so this is how I used to read my NCERT of animal kingdom. Again, this question, that which is outer side, which is at outer side, and which is in the inner side, notochord and nerve chord, it's very confusing. It always comes in test series, so you need to keep in mind. So what I used to do is I used to just remember that nerve has V, and V comes at the last in the alphabetical order. So nerve will be at the back end, and notochord will be in the front end. Okay, so in that manner I used to remember it. And again, this portion is again very confusing, so you need to keep in mind about this part. A lot of test series ask questions from this portion. Okay, again, so this is the basic overview. See, I have written all the names so that I do not get confused in the examination. I even used to read the summary also, and I highlight all the important points. Okay, so this was all about animal kingdom. So I think that you have got a brief description that how I used to read the chapters. Okay, and as far as notes are concerned, so I can just show you a glimpse. If you want the notes, then you can just comment to me. I'll put up the notes in the description, okay, for your access. So I'll show you my notes. These are of genetics. Okay, so yeah, I have a very, again, you need to also, you just cannot rely on NCERT, right? Even if you read it, then you have to read it. That's a compulsion. But to understand NCERT and all the words and all the statements from that, you need to have a, an edge of that chapter. So if I talk about genetics, so you all know that genetics is such a huge chapter. So I also have got notes for that. And you can see that these are extensive notes, and these are really helpful. So if you want, you can tell me. I'll put up the link. And this is just a glimpse for you all to see. Okay, so keeping it aside, let's talk about zoology. Animal kingdom is done. Then this is the morpho wala thing. I'll also make a separate video for botany if you all guys want. You can just comment me. So I'll definitely make it for that. Now coming to the structural organization. Okay. See, this portion is so really hectic to remember. I was just, in so much, I should say that in so much uh, problem I faced to remember cockroach. It was really a hectic task. So I made it like this, and I used to study like this. Cockroach wala portion to very, you all must be knowing. Frog to it's comparatively easy. Okay. Then cell wala portion, biomolecules to it comes under, then cell wala thing. Now coming to the major part which constitutes the class 11th zoology section, that is human physiology. You must be aware of. So first of all, I'll give you all a quick look that how I used to read my NCERT for human physiology, because it is a subject, or I should say that it is a portion that can go vast beyond NCERT. Okay, so like the whole of the MBBS is concerned with this portion only, that is human physiology. So we can go way beyond NCERT, but we should not, because I personally did not go much beyond NCERT, because I knew that the questions would be asked from here only. So I need to, master these lines so that I do not make a mistake. Then only I'll get into MBBS, right? So first you need to master these rather than studying the modules or studying extra things. I don't think that it is necessary, because I though scored a 180 just by studying NCERT for human physiology. So here you can see I used to mark all the labelings. I used to mark, and if anything extra I got to know from tests or anywhere else, then I used to write it here only. Okay, so that while revising it, I did not face any problem. So you can see this. Okay, I'll give a quick look here. This is how my NCERT looked for human physiology. And summary also, again, very important. I used to read all the lines from summary. Coming to that next part, breathing and exchange. And you should also make your NCERT look like this. Not exactly, but it shows that you have gone through each and every line very, thoroughly and multiple times, because it is really necessary for you to remember, na? So you can do this thing. Yeah, I think it's visible now. This is about that breathing and exchange part. I used to write, because I used to always forget this order. So I wrote it over here so that I can remember it. These volumes really very important, very much asked in the series. You can just make a graph like this. See, I have made it. It really helps me to remember the volumes, because it is really tricky now. Okay, and then this thing. Okay, this table, very important. Millimeter word, this is very important. Again, this one, regulation is very important. See, these are not given in NCERT, but I wrote it because I made mistake in my test. Okay, coming to body fluids and circulation. This, see, I made this trick. NLM AB. NLM for neutral laws of motion, and AB is like alphabetical order. This is the order for the percentage composition. Okay, this thing so you can all see that how I used to read my NCERT for scoring 180 in zoology. This was from the 11th section. I'll make another video for 12th also. If you want, then I can just make a very detailed video also. This is just a brief video, so you can comment me. I'll definitely make a very detailed video for all the subjects, in fact. So yeah, this too got removed, omitted. Okay, now again, this thing, very very hectic to remember, but you have to, anyhow you have to. So I also read it multiple times from NCERT itself, and read all the lines, paid attention to the labelings. Okay, and whatever I used to get into the tests, I used to write over here in the space given. And yeah, you can just take a look how you need to study. Okay, so yeah, this was it. Again, I'm saying I used to read the summary as well, and with a lot of focus, because there are things given in the summary which is not given in the chapter. Okay, so this was it. I hope you people like the video. So do comment, share, subscribe the channel, and do let me know that how did you find the video, and comment if you need anything else regarding NEET uh, uh, preparation. So meet you in the next video.